Originally written in English, Norwegian by Night is a crime thriller by Derek B. Miller that was first published in Norwegian translation in 2010, followed by an English version in 2012. This was Miller's debut novel, and he has since released two more thrillers, including a sequel aimed at launching a detective series based on Norwegian by Night. Upon its release, the book received mostly positive reviews and was shortlisted for 7 literary awards, ultimately winning the Crime Writers Association John Creasy Dagger Award for debut works. A feature film adaptation of Norwegian by Night is currently in production, but as of 2018, no release date has been announced. The story follows 82-year-old American Sheldon Horowitz, who is grappling with the recent loss of his wife and the absence of living family in the United States. His mental health is declining, with many believing he has Alzheimer's disease, though it is hinted that he may be suffering from PTSD from his service in the Korean War. Reluctantly, Sheldon moves to Oslo, Norway, to live with his granddaughter Rhea and her husband Lars. Feeling out of place in a country where he is one of the few Jewish residents, Sheldon often directs his frustrations at Rhea. He is haunted by his past, burdened with guilt over the friends he lost in the Korean War and the death of his son in Vietnam. His recollections are sometimes inconsistent, as he insists he was a sniper in Korea despite a lack of evidence supporting his claims, which raises doubts among Rhea and others about his history. Once in Oslo, Sheldon settles into Rhea's apartment and becomes aware of the arguments between his upstairs neighbor, a single mother, and a man. One day, while home alone, he overhears their altercation escalate to a point where he fears violence may occur. When he encounters the woman's son in the hallway, Sheldon pulls him to safety, and they hide, listening as the woman is murdered. Unable to communicate verbally, Sheldon names the boy Paul and decides to take him on the run, having deduced that the woman was killed by organized crime and that they may be next. Seeking refuge at the family's summer cabin outside the city, Sheldon embarks on a journey that rekindles vivid memories of his past. The narrative alternates between the present and a series of flashbacks that reveal Sheldon's experiences in Korea, as well as his family life when his wife and son were still alive. He recalls his military training, which aids his survival and evasion from the Kosovar gangsters responsible for Paul's mother's murder. Meanwhile, 2 Norwegian detectives join the pursuit, uncovering a box of evidence hidden under the murdered woman's bed that links the gangsters to war crimes committed during the Balkan conflict. They are also on the trail of Sheldon and Paul, who must navigate the dangers posed by both the police and the gangsters. As Sheldon and Paul travel together, they develop a strong bond despite the language barrier, as Paul remains mute. The reason for the boy's silence is unclear, but it is suggested that he is traumatized by the death of his mother. All plot threads converge at the summer cabin in the Norwegian wilderness. Rhea is captured and held hostage by the gangsters, while Lars manages to escape. Sheldon arrives shortly after and notices signs of a struggle. While he formulates his next move, Lars returns armed with a bow and arrow typically used for hunting, assisting in Rhea's rescue. Sheldon chooses to stay behind to confront the gangsters, presumably leading to his death, though the specifics of his fate are left ambiguous. Paul's future is also uncertain. The Norwegian authorities indicate he will enter the foster care system, but it is heavily implied that Rhea and Lars, who are childless, may consider adopting him. The distinctive setting and characters in Norwegian by Night are influenced by the author's background and personal experiences. Derek B. Miller is an American who is married to a Norwegian woman and has lived in Norway for many years. Before becoming a writer, he worked for the United Nations, specializing in veterans affairs and helping individuals affected by wars and conflicts reintegrate into society. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.